Well, from anybody.
From anybody on complexity.
Oh, well, I mean, as I said, I've been harping on about him, but Miracle. Those last two games where, you know, that was sort of carry performance on level with all the best carries in the world. You know, that was top tier, #1 carry, the Miracle. They're turning up. And we've seen it in the past. This is a great sort of backstory for Miracle. He used to be this legend back in the, I don't know how long ago, probably 20 years ago, back in the early days of Dota, and he was crushing it. He was coming out with his, of course, the iconic, the Naga Siren, which I kind of hope that we see being brought back. Other teams are playing it. I don't think COL really play it that much, or if at all, but you have Miracle on your team. Back in the day, proved that Naga Siren was busted as heck if you knew what you were doing, and he did.
Octarine Radiance build.
So I want to see it come back. And maybe against OG, maybe this will be the game that they do so. It does get banned out against me. OG, no. We have seen it being banned out a lot. They know. Miracle Naga Siren, it's still, he did it back in the day. He'll do it now. You can't let him have it.
Nice snipe there, Owen. And I gotta say, I actually learned how to say his name correctly from you. You say it so naturally.
It's literally spelt Miracle.
Well, I mean, I actually had to teach myself. It's like saying America, but it's Miracle.
I mean, he is playing North America, yeah.
Yep. It's a Miracle.
Miracle.
The most American.
Owen, great snipe on that Naga Siren, and you're gonna see no Darkseer, no Doom, no big surprises from the rest of the bans with Drow Ranger and Nature's Prophet and Oracle, but securing Pangolier first by OG. That opens you up to some major counters. Grimstroke has been seen many times in this tournament as a quick counter, and you're gonna pick that Pango first.
It's an interesting one. I mean, what we saw the Pango, yesterday in that EG series, and it didn't look too great. He struggled in the lane, and then he sort of proceeded to hop on the feed train. Many a time getting caught out alone after he went for sort of a team utility build.
He ended up buying Ana a ticket on that train also.
It was a little rocky, but they obviously feel confident going with it again. They're going to back it up with an Abaddon.
Oh, wow. I did want to talk a little bit about this Abaddon. No one has really been running this since Team Secret premiered it at the last major, except for OG. They still believe in support Abaddon.
I mean, it's definitely still very good.
I'm
a little surprised that we haven't seen already more. I feel that this is a hero that if we see it do good in a couple of games, by the time we hit the main event, everyone's going to be trying to fit it into their draft. This hero fundamentally, with the way that he can offer just so much, not just in the lane, but at all points. The early harassment with the missed coils, and then the fact that it's this hero that could just be such a nuisance in the team fights, and it's a support that you do have to draft around. You have to make sure that you've got some way to keep him out, make sure that he can't just throw out these shields after shields after shields, making this extra effective HP that you have to work for on the enemy cores.
Right, but there's got to be a weakness, right, Tsunami? I mean, Owen beefed it up, sounded pretty good. But how come not everyone's picking Abaddon right now? What's the big stopper there, Tsunami? Any ideas?
Where's Nyx Assassin?
Oh my goodness.
Why is he not picked or banned?
Oh my goodness. Maybe they just forgot. He's been first pick banned almost every series.
Yeah, one of the advantages of Nyx Assassin against the Abaddon matchup specifically, if you break him, then he won't be able to get off that passive borrowed time. You can activate it manually, but you kind of have to be paying attention a lot.
I mean, if you throw a silence in, he's a lot of trouble. And Nyx Assassin can also be very nice against the Pangolier. You know, one sort of swashbuckle out of position and a quick spike carapace and bam.
Or just
Pango's tripped up.
The aphotic shield, just go straight into an aphotic shield, pop it, carapace it, stun off the Abaddon.
It would mean that COL would have to then move one of these two heroes probably into a full role. They have done
They
did do a limp sanking earlier, didn't work out. And with the Lesh picked up, this is...
I don't understand why Nyx Assassin isn't picked. There's something weird going on here.
Yeah, they're leaving.
Oh, no, it's banned out.
Finally banned. Just happened. So Nyx Assassin is a very late ban. I thought we got to see that hero for the first time in a long time.
Yeah.
They could be going with the Leshrac. It makes some sense here, right?
3 ran it. They ran it with Sand King as well. Wyvern's the really only new thing that Complexity haven't shown yet, at least in today's series. I don't know if they picked it in yesterday's series. But OG are sticking with their mainstays. It's just that I think part of the reason that Thompson's Pango didn't do so well, you and Owen and I, we were saying that the itemization to go for a utility build as opposed to like a Javelin damage-oriented build was really hampering his...
Especially when it's in that mid, bro.
Exactly.
Like, you're getting that level benefit. Like, sure, it's nice as the mid to build these auras, and we do see a lot of mids do that. For instance, like the Quops, the Vipers of today, they will go down that sort of utility road with the Greaves and stuff. But COL, moving on, they're getting that Omni Knight. We saw it from them earlier today on Monkeys Forever. Did win that game too. Looked pretty hot. It's going to get through here. OG, Anti-Mage into the game.
Anti-Mage. We've seen this hero come and go. EG ran a great anti-mage, I believe, earlier. Was RTZ not dying once on it, if I'm correct? But this hero's seen a little bit more picks here. Where'd that come from? I thought that hero was pretty much dead last minor.
Well, sort of going back a few patches, the whole change to the spell shield, the ability to have that active, like that spell in itself. I mean, Anti-Mage was being picked sometimes, and then it felt a little weird that they were like, hey, let's just make this spell incredibly good.
Yeah.
The hero is brilliant. The fact that you can have that sort of ability to just turn around any sort of counterplay that originally in the past was very strong against anti-mages is absolutely massive. And of course you got it in a game now where there's that big juicy mana void target. There's a Leshrac on the opponent's side, so if that Leshrac gets a little low on the mana, kaboom, everybody's gonna blow up.
Indeed. Let's not forget who's playing this, the classic Anti-Mage. This is a terrifying hero on that particular player.
And I think part of the reason why AM maybe isn't so popular is a lot of the popular carries that you see these days are very willing to participate in mid-game fights. So like your Life Stealers, your Phantom Assassins, even the hard carries like Medusa and Spectre, with like once Medusa gets to that Mystic Snake talent, she's more than willing to participate in fights. Whereas Anti-Mage, you never really have a good opportunity unless, like Owen was saying, you have a good mana void target. Only issue is that this is more than likely going to be a support-oriented Leshrac.
Yes, you would imagine.
Which we don't know for sure, because, you know, Wyvern, Sand King, Leshrac, they can bounce these around. But picking an anti-mage without really seeing that easy mana void target leads me to believe that they're just confident in his hard carry abilities.
Especially now with that Pugna picked up. I feel like if your complexity, you run that Lesh as a core Pugna against, as a core against Pugna and anti-mage, you're gonna have a hard time. Absolutely. So now I feel that they are forced, that the Limp probably has to play the Sand King again. And that game earlier, it didn't go too good because you're looking, it's got to be Monkeys, right, on the Omni Knight.
Yeah.
Your Lesh and your Wyvern, as I say, you do not want to have that Lesh as a core against Pugna and anti-mage, and then you are forced to put this SK onto either your 1 or your 2. You don't want to play a carry Sand King unless you're at some 2K MMR pub. It's got to be Limp, and it didn't work out earlier today.
Yeah. Wow. If you're a spellcaster in Complexity's lineup, you are in for a bad time already with OG. It's a tough last pick here, Tsunami. Any guesses?
Having to pick a one-position Sand King makes everything so weird. I don't but there's no real way that they can turn it around. I guess they could. I don't know. For what it's worth, Anti-Mage does have a lot of disable to be concerned about, so you can just straight up Winter's Curse him. If you're really good as Anti-Mage with Ana is, then maybe you can get the counterspell off in time, but you are able to get a long-range disable like that, and then you can follow it up into a Yule Scepter from Leshrac, or a Rod, I think 343 went for last time.
I mean, maybe you could sort of speed things up. I don't know if they want to run something like for Miracle, like a Lycan, something that could sort of speed up the pressure of this game, because there's not too much catch. It was the Lasso and the Rolling Thunder if he gets on top of you. But if you pick some sort of elusive core that can play fast, it could work out quite nicely against OG and sort of play at a pace that the anti-mage isn't going to be able to respond to. This AM does need time.
That's true.
Maybe COL can abuse that here with a big pick for Miracle.
Like you said, well, Lycan's good. Anything that can push, because you can't end the game fast just with kills. You need to end the game fast by taking structures. And normally I would say this is a great position for a DK that Complexity likes quite a bit. But that is Limp's hero more often than not, and he'll go like Radiance and stuff like that. The Sand King, he puts them in such a weird position.
If they do pick something that allows them to play fast, then maybe they get away with it. But they're going to try and go for the carry matchup, the Terrorblade.
Yeah, this is popular against anti-mage.
It is one of the big ones as well from Miracle.
Yeah, and that as well.
But we have a Pugna, don't we? That's pretty big, massive damage on that Terror.
Yeah,
you can tear them apart. I mean, they've got burst up the wazoo over there on OG. You guys think it'll work out? OG gonna take this one easy?
I don't think easy. The Terrorblade against Miracle was playing so damn good earlier in that game 2 and game 3. On a Terrorblade, this is a hero that he can perform on. The Pugna and the AM, you can sort of consider the other 4 heroes in COL. It definitely sort of makes you want to say, oh, it's going to be a good game for OG, but I find it hard to write off the Miracle Terrorblade.
Yes, and it's true. Tsunami, any thoughts?
I think this will maybe prove how good this 5-possession Abaddon still is, because not very many people are picking it, but I think Abaddon could be very, very significant in making sure this anti-mage can go late, and being able to save him with this hard dispel from this chain disable that can come out, and being able to dispel off like the reflection and stuff like that. No Tail has his work cut out for him.
Yeah, if this Terrorblade gets a good timing on his Manta and such a miracle's able to hit to the jungle, I do think this Terrorblade can carry this game. It's going to be hard. It's not going to be easy, but they can carry it. There's not a crazy amount of disable. He could have a good game on the TB.
All right. Well, our analysts think that it's anyone's game. We are going to have one loser in this. Well, actually, two. The guy spamming Fluke, OG, and NA Law. One of you. Don't put Pumbaa in front of me during my exit. Thank you, Pumbaa. Keep it down. Anyway, somebody's going to be wrong. Some of the haters are going to be wrong, but we have got it right with two of our wonderful casters. Kyle and Gods will be bringing you this game very shortly. Bye!
To a future of dreams.
We are in-game and live with our first game of the best of 3 to determine who will start in the winner bracket and who will start in the lower bracket. Winner bracket, lower bracket, gone. I'm following my words already. It is Complexity versus OG and a best of 3 series to decide Group D. Dodge, bring me his Kyle.
Hi.
Hi. Kyle.
Yeah, so we were just talking about it, but I loved the third pick Bat from OG. They picked Abaddon in their opener to kind of cover it. You know, you're not ever going to pick Bat Rider into that hero. Then they take it third, and it's this cool concept where, like, okay, you got Wyvern Lesh Sand King. Oh, shit, they picked Bat. We got to get Omni to sort of address it. Oh, no, now there's an Anti-Mage, and the last pick, Pugna. So this hero that Cole takes with their 22nd selection is like, it has to deal with, like, everything, right? It's terrible, actually, against Bat Rider. And the cool thing that OG does with the Bat Pango is that they can play it on their 3, their 4, their 5. So now all of a sudden the Bat is the core, Pango's the 4, and you've got this excellent scenario where Bat can just run over this Terrorblade thing.
They are going to be running a core Leshrac. This was something the panel thought, you know, maybe a little bit unlikely because of the Pugna being in the game, but I think they just have damage issues if they ran a core Sand King with a core Omni. Like, I think the Lesh at least gives them damage, and at some point you can get a BKB if you need.
And I think you're actually better off playing core Lesh at times against the AM Pugna, simply because you don't really use too much mana early on. It's mostly Stun Edict. You also have a stun that will land through AM's spell shield. And in addition, at some point, as you said, you can get BKB, you can get Hex, Atos is quite nice. You can just play a different sort of style, and I like it here. And you needed damage, to your point. And the TB Lesh combination is one of my favorites. You take these like Lycan, Terrorblade type heroes, tons of building pressure, combo with Lesh, and you could theoretically have 6 towers dead in 5 minutes if you're not careful.
If Complexity can kind of get that snowball going, they are going to be running Miracle's TB down in the bottom lane. Jerax the 4 kind of laning here as he waits for Seb to arrive. Seb making the long walk from top lane as OG look to make sure they get the lane matchups they want.
And this is key. And it's nice that they leave Jerax here, so it's not as if they're going to lose one wave hard. But Bat must play against Terrorblade. That is the whole point of this pick here and why they made it a core.
Abaddon is low on health and mana. We'll be looking for that miscoil deny. Hoping a clarity for now. We'll see him probably try and get that deny off either on a creep or something. Zefric knows this, and that's one of the things. Playing against stunners is Abaddon, you have to be a little bit careful to make sure you actually deny yourself, and he is going to catch Zefric going for this pull and just spam that miscall maybe a couple more times to get himself down nice and low. He's using on neutrals here.
He gets the R2, gets 2 creeps. Well played by himself.
Yeah, pulls him back and stop those from getting pulled away. Getting an early bit of creep manipulation here, and it will be Omni Knight making the long walk from top to bottom. So similar thing coming from Complexity, where they know if they TP monkeys down bottom, then OG can just match the TPs. Whoever TPs first essentially is going to lose that lane trade. As we'll see Seb actually go aggressively with Jerax going with the Swashbuckle here, and the Metamorph wearing off. They're actually going to be able to maybe bring down Miracle. Seb does not have Firefly. but still comes close to getting a kill, but may get punished. With Omni Knight showing up soon, gets the Splinter Blast to hit, and with the Arctic Bird, Seb is done for. First blood goes to Monkeys, who is suddenly in bottom lane.
I'm surprised they didn't skill Flame Break there, unless he leveled up like as he was being committing the chase. But there were so many stacks on Terrorblade. I think he dies for sure. Unfortunate. It's okay though. However, Seb's got to be careful. He can't TP in right away. He will, and now I believe Miracle. He's just all right. I'll go top. Thank you. Yeah, and that's exactly it. He sees the TP. All right, I'll TP back. I think Seb made a miscue there. He had to do the long walk, because otherwise it just becomes so simple for the TP to counter the lane pressure.
And it sucks. Like, you're already under leveled. Like, he was only just barely level 2, doesn't have farm, but you're still in a Pango there. Like, it's not like the farming experience is being completely lost, like in an empty lane.
Exactly.
But see, now, yeah, Complexity gets the lanes they want. With that said, AM, you know, is free farming, and this is a great AM game, so I don't think OG are going to feel like getting the wrong lanes is disastrous for their game plan right now.
Yeah, I like this, though. Look at mid. He's so low already, and Seb, they should know he's missing. He wants to walk top. Would have loved to get a kill on Lesh, but Limp is aware of something's going on here.
And with the Abaddon miscall spam from behind is playing aggressive on Z-Freak here. Going to blink him forward, but with the Sandstorm in play, cannot kill him off.
I like that Orb of Venom picked up on Ana, because you want to increase your ability to trade hits and be aggressive, because all No Tail provides, as we just saw, is that sustain. You can spam his spells, but you are the one that needs to be aggressive. You must try and get as many attacks as possible, and it's just the most value item on AM against 2 melee.
Yeah, exactly. He's laying against 2 melee. It's such a big part of that, and it guarantees you get more mana break hits in as well, which makes your lane even easier. And he catch up Limp here. He's going to decrypt in a couple of seconds. He's not going to go for the chase. I think realizing he maybe overcommits if he goes too aggressive there. Thompson very familiar with playing Pugna. He's played this hero a lot. As Limp will find himself a haste rune.
Denies it from Thompson, and you can see the difference where Thompson rushes his bottle. Limp, of course, going to finish the null, thus does not have that advantage. Thompson was able to win those last couple waves, but now forced not to go to base, but has to play a bit more defensively. Z-Freak is off map, going top again to pull creeps, it appears.
Yep.
As now Miracle's doing the long walk bottom because Seb, and Seb just chasing him. Like this is what you'd expect.
Yeah, he's preemptively left the lane. I thought it was maybe just trying to set up to get some bounty runes or something, but no, he's just...
to your point though, Jarex can be the offlaner. He's a Pangolier, you know? Yeah, he's a 4, but we've seen Yapzor do this. Like, you can become a core just by sitting in the lane. It's not as if Monkeys can force him completely out of XP range.
Yeah, and yeah, the Bat Rider's kind of struggling to get anything, but the exchange's TB is struggling.
Exactly.
So you think of all these heroes that aren't having a good game, and TB having a bad game with this complexity draft where they've got no real carry outside of TB is a big problem. AM 28-14.
Exactly. Yep.
TB 12-2.
Some trouble. Well, luckily the Bat's still only level 2, but you're making the perfect point, which is that Ana is hard free farming, and Seb is trading his own game to deal with miracles, and that's key. You need Terrorblade to go off to win this game. Z-Freak in some trouble. Is there a sentry somewhere? Need to get dusted? Yeah. Well played. And there's nothing he could do. And Orb of Venom, as you said, no stun. So even if he starts walking away, Ana's going to be able to keep pace. And looking very good for OG. I was telling you this before the series, but I had a notebook with all my strats and stuff for most of my career. And starting in like 2012 playing Han, you know what I put on the title of that notebook?
I do, you just told me.
Yeah, Ban Anti-Mage. Ban Anti-Mage. And I switched to Dota. We were in for like 6 months, and I realized, you know what, guys? I've made mistakes. We need to be doing this. And
Ban Anti-Mage.
It's just the kryptonite. No matter who's playing on the roster.
Complexity doesn't deal well with Anti-Mage.
Sure.
Also going to turn around the bit of mid-pressure, but...
If he got the stun there, I think he dies, but he drew.
So, No Tail gets another deny off. Z-Freak comes in with a Sandstorm. Just, he's level 2. Gonna try and keep some of these neutrals inside it to get some farm for himself.
And there's more entrance still, I think. Yep.
Not happening with it. But Z-Freak uses... Strike needs to be careful if Abaddon comes back with that dust, and Ana doesn't get as many of these last hits as possible, and we'll get the last couple of big ones there. Scan looking very solid right now. Back at mid, the Split Earth's going to stop Thompson from killing off 3-4-3, and now the chase is on. Limp with the level 6 is just burning down Thompson. He's getting lower mana, but he will be able to find the kill, and he's looking for a second, but without that Split Earth landing, will not find it.
Perfect rune, Arcane. Only reason he had the mana to get enough spells off to finish Thompson. And there's the other concern. OG, they love doing this, where you stack a ton of cleanse mechanics with damage reduction and the hard pick off of a Bat Rider. So like it's just so hard to kill Thompson when you have shields to peel. You can and counter initiate with the Pangolier roll through. You can decrypt somebody. You can lasso a BKB. Like there's just so many methods of these OG heroes to help out their allies. Whereas Cole, how do you actually find those kills right away?
Well, the solution to the lane swapping should be okay here. That us is on the Abaddon, who's not there. He's a mid. But yeah, Cole's solution to the lane stage has been to jungle the TB. Similarly, Bat Rider has also been jungling from what I've seen. So interesting, way to play Dota. You don't see junglers too often. But this is essentially, TB started jungling at like level 2, maybe level 3. He's now hit level 5. He's got double Wraith Bands. He's maxing the illusion. This is the old, TB's level 1 jungle used to be a thing in the old days, and you would max these illusions and get a couple of Wraith Bands just like this, back when Iron Talon was in the game.
Usually it's like level 4, 2 or 3 Wraith Bands when you can look to go jungle pretty effectively. Obviously this game is chased a bit by Bat, but Seb, this is cool. OG Thompson just chasing after Z-Freak to allow Seb to recover some levels in the mid lane. Very nice movement. They're going to chase him down.
Both teams' forward positions getting a lot of farm this game because of the nature of the lane swaps, and Sand King's doing well here, but needs to find an escape here, and it's going to be Ana getting the last hit. That is not what you want to see. And it's back in the bottom lane. Jerks has hit level 6, so Rolling Thunder comes into play. It looks like he's using it somewhat defensively to try and get away from a complexity rotation. It's Leshrak. Can he get the kill on Seb? This one blast not quite enough damage. Seb gets to the shrine. He's healing up. He needs to get out of this one. Back to the low ground. He's going to barely escape. The Firefly ends at the perfect time. He manages to just get away from Monkeys, who did hit him with a level 4 purification, but couldn't quite bring him down.
Yeah, concern for Cole's just got to be, when you think OG, you think Ana. Oh, hold up.
Yeah, that was Seb coming back in with a salve and this coil. He's continuing to slow down Limp, and now Jarek to the swashbuckle to be able to get this kill. The Firefly there. Oh, barely enough to keep him alive for now, but he is still going to go down. Seb getting the kill with Firefly damage, and Seb now looking for more. He wants 3-4-3, who doesn't really have a good escape for this one. Nothing to split to blast off, and he's just getting burned to pieces. The Firefly does end, luckily for him, and he's going to look for a deny, but with the miscoil, no chance to do so.
Yeah, that was a very poor decision to cold embrace the Leshrak there. And yeah, you kept him alive for a bit, but I'm pretty sure Limp can just do the walk away. They weren't going to be able to catch him. Fortunate, and just had to sit there and accept his demise. Look at the net worth on Limp as well. My goodness, this is not good. This is not good for complexity, because I'll be honest, Monkey's hero is irrelevant in their win condition. It's about him playing around the Lesh, around the TB, and those heroes are suffering. Seb somehow ahead of both cores in net worth.
Yeah, I mean, partly is those kills, but the fact he didn't have a lane this game and is the higher farm than 2 of the complexity cores is a big problem. Bounty runes are going to spawn, and it's going to be complexity grabbing the 2 top while OG gets bottom. Did look like they were trying to step on this anti-mage, which would be such a big kill to get at this stage. AM is absolutely free farming out of control, and it just feels like, there's going to be a Sunder. Miracle keeps himself alive a little bit longer, but Jerks is able to roll with Thunder, and that Wyvern heal comes in too late against the life drain.
It's not how they save him. It's in time there. They're just continuing to pressure. Thompson won't get the last hit.
Oh, he gets the silence though. Oh, the swashbuckle silence on Thompson. He's actually running forward. He feels confident enough that he can stay alive, but the Abaddon behind him, it's true. He gets the tower lesson. He's willing to die for it. Probably going to say that's worth it, but No-Tel may pay for the price himself. Gets hit by the Split Earth. That heals him up a little bit, but he's stunned, and OG will lose 2 mid. Get themselves the tier 1 tower. Thompson really wanted that tower.
Yeah, and I think you're fine with this because it's OG, right? Who they care about Ana? Ana's free farming,
and that's money for Ana.
Yeah, it's all good. You realize that, look, we've slowed down the enemy corps that can actually make moves and impact the map. Our AM is having the dream start. And like this is not just that, but they love playing Dota this way. They're a 1-4 team. That's why when Ana came back, the fans went crazy, because this is the guy that feels like they play around absolutely the best, going back to different rosters and different types of majors.
Yeah, I mean, OG's been through quite a few roster iterations, and there has not been this 4 protect 1 style has only worked with Ana, and then if you go further back with Miracle, and a lot of the other players they've tried haven't worked to the same success. It
looks like they were bad players.
Just Resolution. I mean, yeah, Resolution. Like, these guys are all like star players in their own time on different teams, but they just didn't fit the OG model. Your lasso into Rolling Thunder. There's going to be a golden brace.
What is that? Like, Adam, what? How many times? It doesn't do anything to stop magic damage.
There's not. Adam knows that, but you know, he thinks he can perhaps out-heal the magic damage, but that is not the case.
No, it is not.
And
Dude, AM more than double the Terrorblade's net worth at 12 minutes into the game.
for the top 5 net worth on the OG side, I mean, Leshrac and Pango are kind of neck and neck, but that is a terrible sign, as we're about to see a 12-minute Battle Fury. 200 gold short of it. That's a pretty good sign.
Decent.
Let's go to TZ of I think 12-minute Battle Fury AM game. I don't think he had
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
In that game, who's he playing?
was it Complexity. EG Complexity were in the same group,
Yeah, yeah.
or was that the second series they played against OG?
No, it was the first game of the tournament against Complexity. They just hit him with the last pick AM. Or sorry, same situation here.
Cole losing to AM.
Yeah,
It's becoming a bit iconic.
I mean, they have a better last pick. Against EG, they went Kunkka 10th. This game, they went Terrorblade. But unfortunately, when he has a game like this, it doesn't matter what hero he is. The Night's Oath comes out.
Nothing. And the Rolling Thunder is going to look to kind of split this one up a bit. And with the Abaddon to back him up, Thompson is still full health, but now the shield ending and the damage is starting to come on through. There's a GA as well to help them out. Thompson's just trying to life drain his way through this one. Limp getting a little bit low here. No Chop still trying to save him, but unsuccessful as Limp gets a double kill. Good news, they get the kills. Bad news, this fella's still farming.
Yeah. It's like they get top tower off that play. Indeed, they did.
I mean, TP kind of has to farm in the jungle, but you're bottom 5 in net worth. 3.7k net worth on TB, 7.5 on AM, and yeah, you mentioned double.
Yeah, but it's more importantly, I think AM has that farming item online that starts accelerating him exponentially, whereas TB is still in that more linear phase of his progression.
That gold breakdown, the AM with like 4,000 gold farm from lane creeps, and the TB just 1,000. That is very telling of the state of this game. With that said, AM is starting to catch up in neutrals and ancients, but that's only come since getting the Battle Fury.
Yeah.
I imagine he was like a quarter of that before the Battle Fury was online.
I think the story so far as well is just the Jarek's Pango. Only fourth on his team in net worth, but his game impact has been super high. And you can see every time Wyvern's gonna ult, Sand King stuns in, he'll just roll forwards to counter initiate and no tell. Yeah, like they at least do that, but they're getting towers, and more importantly, they're making space.
I love that Spirit Vessel build he's got queued up against all the heals on the Complexity side.
Do you think he's gonna rush the blink? No, I do agree. I think the Spirit Vessel is just an item concept. Is strong. It's just so good. It's underrated. And the cool thing is, if I'm not mistaken, when you Omni W somebody and you increase their status resist, it means the Spirit Vessel ticks will just come faster, right?
Yeah.
You'll just take a lot of damage.
The same amount of damage quicker.
Yeah, in like 3 less seconds. So it's also limiting the regen during the duration. Very nice pickup, and someone needed it, and Jarek's is really the only one that can get it.
Hopefully have done a good job securing these bounty rings, consistently getting at least 2 of them on a part of the map where they converge to a lot of heroes. AM did sneak in behind. It looks like he's going to try and find the Winter Wyvern here, but will be forced to retreat. Skirst coming out on the back right, trying to stop Seb's advance, but it's immediately responded with by Jarek. The Rolling Thunder coming through, catching absolutely everyone. I don't think OG want to actually take this fight. It looks like they're just using it to help get the Bat Rider out safely, and Jarek knows, you know, he can roll his way out of there and swashbuckle it too.
And catch a look at the other lanes real quick. See where the creep waves are? You got Anna pushing mid into the tier 2, Pugna of Thompson pushing bottom into the tier 2, Cole constantly on the back foot because they just don't have the wave clear to deal with these cores of OG, and they can't catch them without heavily committing as 4 at least.
That was, I think, 5 Complexity heroes top. In a 5v3, they killed nobody. And now that they TP to deal with mid and bottom, OG immediately think, okay, maybe we can find a kill here, but may just be Thompson going for a solo kill of sorts, but the freak understanding his hero's limits will not get caught out or punished by that one.
It's well played though. You can see it's just about buying space, buying time, annoying Complexity. They don't need to find kills, they just want to ensure that they limit the damage they're able to do around the map, keep the map presence high, and try and just ensure their cores are always able to farm map.
I mean, Thompson there is a little bit exposed. Like, a Sand King stun into a TP could theoretically kill him. He just knows that if they do that, like the Bat Rider Pango will respond by getting a kill top, or the AM's free farming. So him dying there wouldn't even be that bad.
Yeah, and it's just the prep from OG. I think they're one of the best teams in Dota with time to create some sort of battle plan. Only they were writers for Game of Thrones, but that's a whole other story that I'm not going to get into right now. The 3-4-5, like the Bat you need to address if you're complexity. Then the AM, you have to address if you're complexity. The last pick Pugna. It's just each one of these heroes drastically change the game state, and it all starts because of the Abaddon, which covers. They can't draft on complexity now. Hold up.
It covers the mid lane. They actually bypass him. They realize they don't want to go on Abaddon, but he's going to be there to shield off Seb, heal him back up, and No-Tail's just turn this gank around. He's completely covered them from the blink reveal of the Sand King, and instead it's Z-Free, who just picked up a blink and smoke, who's going down instead. He's meant to be the one finding these kills, and it may not just be him. Luckily, there's a Winter's Curse to stop the Penga roll in. One of the reasons why they picked this Winter Wyvern against the Penga, but ultimately, it just covers the retreat. It doesn't actually amount to anything for COL.
Now, do keep in mind, though, it's a 5k gold lead for OG, but it's all on Ana. And he's
an anti-mage, though, Kyle. I think that's what you want if you're OG.
But you know, Ana might make some mistakes. He's only won a TI and I think 2 majors. It's not like he's won 2 TIs or anything like that. So it's possible he makes a couple egregious mistakes. Oh, double stun from Z-Free. That'll be 2 kills.
Oh, we've seen Z-Free Sancting now a couple of games. He is very good with these 2-man stuns.
And Miracle's back in it. If you look at the net worth, like, they're climbing the charts. You do have to be careful, because sure, your aim is super ahead, but he needs to transition into helping his team pretty soon. Probably after the next item upcoming, though. With Manta, you are strong.
Well, I may look to help now with this Metamorph ending. Be my, at least what I would like to see. You know meta's down. This TP is no longer, you're not afraid of him as much. And you can burn his mana, stop the Sunder from coming into play. Yeah, maybe something he wants to consider. And yeah, he's immediately comes mid. I think OG know, like, okay, meta's down, time to fight. This is a really strong point for us. They've got the Blink and Boots of Travel, the Bat Rider, so they've got the initiation, and yeah, they are pressing forward with Ana's anti-mage.
Yeah, and this is cool. Ana's not like looking to initiate. He's just farming in the vicinity, and this is how you want to play if you're OG. Just sort of flow with your anti-mage. Let him continue farming as much as possible.
Pretend he's not there as well. So yeah, like, maybe Complexity will take a fight thinking AM's not there, and then suddenly, oh hey, anti-mage is actually here to clean up.
Yeah. He's on the run. You can see Seb just playing so aggressive. The blink reveal comes out.
Very short lasso because the Heavenly Grace and a great Winter's Curse is going to stop any more pressure coming. I think COL know they can't take this fight. They have to just get out with minimal losses, but what are those minimal losses going to be? You've got to imagine it's going to be Z-Freak here. He's juking and diving. He didn't see it. Oh my god. Wow. Some absolutely fantastic moves and talent being shown from a Complexity 4 position player.
I know him. He's my friend.
He's spent a little bit of time with him, I think, growing up.
Only a few decades. On the pursuit, the blank stun in from Z-Freak. He's going to get the No-Tail ult pop to cleanse, but look at the damage. You can't fight under the Netherwood as Limp. He's not even using mana moving forwards. It's got to die before he starts casting spells. There he goes. Should be able to find No-Tail here. He's trying to deny himself and does successfully.
Perfectly, and with the Rolling Thunder bouncing around between this mid lane, Jarex finds the perfect place to do this. He wants Limp, but the Spirit Vessel is going to manage to finish off the kill despite the GA and AM. Has rocked up for this one. Doesn't have a great Mana Void target immediately. We'll be looking for a blink in again soon, but Complexity have covered their retreat pretty well. They're sticking together, and well, that's a 2-position Leshrac going down for nothing.
Yep. Oh, this is cool. I like this from Ana. He's going to go for the Linken's build. Against Sand King, against Sunder, against Wyvern. If you think about it, there's really no way to cancel this unless somebody buys an item to do so. And even then, when you have that extra frame necessary to puncture the Linkens, it's far easier for Ana to get off the counterspell in time to reflect anything that would potentially be able to lock him down.
Yeah. The instant single target disables is something that you can't reliably spell shield off, so here we go.
7k lead. It's crazy how this lead continues to grow. It was 4 just a moment ago. It looks like
it's just growing with the AM. He was continuing to double the TV's farm, and yeah, that, like you say, that gold lead is just the AM's farm. You make him even with the TB, it's an even game, but end of the day, that's your one position. That's Ana, who's doubling, so you're not worried about where that farm distribution is, and oh my gosh, he is so far ahead of the average anti-mage this patch. Probably because I don't think we've seen anti-mage do particularly well in this patch as a hero.
Oh, let's Basher first. I'm down with it. Linken's is cool, but it wouldn't help them find kills, and it's like he doesn't need it for survivability at the moment because there's just no way for him to die unless he makes a huge mistake. Seb constantly playing fast around the map with the bots, always holding dust, so there's really nothing Z-Free can do here to survive.
There is some rotation from OG to back this one up, but it could be a solo kill. Seb starts running away before even finishes him off, and mid lane, and a little bit alone, but he is unkillable at this point, I would say. Well, with Sand King dead, he's 100% killable because there's just not enough control to burst him down. With a haste rune, this is a very useful rune for an anti-mage to have. It kind of missed the reflection too. Miracle was hoping to catch the anti-mage and burn some of his mana with that one, but
I just wanted to bash. 4 hits, nothing. And he'll just look to probably continue accelerating. And that's, again, how OG likes to play. They smoke there. They look for the window as Ana moves forwards, but once it's no longer a possibility, you retreat a bit, continue playing around your AM, continue growing your lead. Roshan, probably your next move, but you want to fight first. You at least have to get the cooldowns used from COL. You don't want to be caught in the pit with Wyvern ult and TB meta available.
in that pit as they've managed to at least get most fairly pushed out. I see if smoked up. They may be doing just that and finding their way to contest OG's Roshan. And it's such a hard crew to deal with right now, but some complexity. They've got that blink initiation from the Sand King here. Seb's going scouting, knowing that he may need a pop a smoke here. He's going to find the Wyvern, gets vision of him, popping the smoke. Seb making this a whole lot safer for OG. But they also realize it's not entirely safe. They need to get themselves slightly out of the pit. Nice force-up use. That's a fresh pick up. Perhaps saying complexity weren't expecting as he gets himself back to safety here. Jerrick's in all sorts of trouble. Doesn't get the rolling thunder up. The stick charges are there, but the Abaddon not in position to save them. No-Tail was actually caught by the Winter's Curse. That's kind of what stopped him from getting there. So complexity commit a lot. They kill a Pengo, who immediately buys back, knowing that he's a support and his buyback can secure that rush.
They got the meta though, and you can see like OG. They lost a hero, sure. He had buyback available, but you notice they're not willing to commit as 5. When complexity get near, it's about baiting the spells. They got Winter's Curse, they got meta, so you can just chill, make sure you don't get reinitiated on all the No-Tail.
And he does not have ultimate. He used that in the last fight. No-Tail gets the shield off. He's barely still alive. Lip wants to chase him down, but will not do so for this one. Denies himself, but that's now 30 seconds without. And the problem is this meta's wearing off, and complexity cannot go into that Roshan pit. And with meta down, we may just see OG.
And the thing is, like, AM, this is a weird game. I don't think COL is as behind as Anna's lead would make it appear, just because of the nature of how these fights are going to go. Because there's no one that's comfortable frontline. They've got great pickoff. They can save one another. Type hero that kind of just walks forward and you play around. He's got to play safe because there is a ton of disable on COL. And with meta up, Miracle does do a ton of DPS. And well played by Seth. Breaks the smoke. No sneaking roach for you folks. Freak. Oh, we same frame.
Good. So there? Or was it just a Heavenly Grace? Either way, Guardian Angel comes out as we're going to see Winter Wyvern getting brought fairly low here. Anna gets incredibly low himself, forced to blink out defensively. He was almost out of mana entirely. Wyvern does end up hitting the deck as Jerrick's wants some more. Aggressive Spirit Vessel being used on that Sand King. He's trying to hide himself in the sandstorm. Anna goes blinking back in, brings down Miracle's Terrorblade before he gets a chance to use that Sunder with that Bastion. He's not done. Anna goes blinking in with the shield here. He's just got so much sustain. He was so low not long ago, but No-Tail with the support play able just to keep Anna going, keep him fighting. And there's the OG classic, the friendly tips. They remind Anna that you're doing a great job. Keep on hitting those creeps and now keep helping us hit these heroes.
That was a really cool fight. Ana, you know, that's why he's one of the best players in the world. They have a ward on the high ground, so he had a vision of Miracle and just blinked in, got the bash, immediate mana void, and once TB hiding around, you know, looking for an opportunity, trying to keep OG out of the road pit, but it's just like that one opportunity. Ana's been waiting for it and waiting for it. As you said, even though he got so low, he's not able to finish the kills complexity once you run out of stuns. And he'll always be able to re-initiate, considering the amount of sustain on his team. Meta is available, but that was a big one. 5 for 0 and Roche. Oof.
Now he's completed that Abyssal Blade, so being able to no longer have to rely on getting a bash when he blinks in. So if he can find anybody, he's going to have a lot of instant burst potential with that Abyssal Manta.
Checking on that. He's playing quite well. Definitely looks a bit better than it did yesterday, where they drought Fnatic twice and then got rocked by EG. This time
they had a close game 1 against EG, right? Very cool.
Close-ish.
Yeah. Anna had a really rough series. I remember his.
Yeah, it was really rough.
But in this game, Anna just not being contest it or getting to highlight what he can do as a farmer. I think, you know, almost taking a page from EG's book, because that was the series where Arteezy, I think, died once in the 2 games. He had like a 12-0 game, then a 17-1 game.
52-14 a day. For someone that's like Ana, however, look at close this one out. I like what OG's doing. You see, they always want to cut those 2 waves. You just pull him to the AM if you have to, and just ensure that he's able to farm as much as possible. Now you just move towards top. Seb has found Limp, and I don't think there's any way for him to escape if Seb is going to continue this pursuit. Like, he knows he's there. Limp knows he's there, and there's just nothing to do about it.
Yeah, and with the AM coming in, that's the real big problem here. And it doesn't immediately blink. He's going to go catch him now. Gets the blink stun. Easy.
It's so easy. Cut 2 waves, sweep to the other side of the map.
Yep.
Cut the top. Cut these 2 waves, top and mid. To the other side of the map. Punish complexity as they try desperately to keep waves out of their base.
I mean, they're doing the best they can. Especially, I feel like Z-Freak's played very well keeping these lanes pushed. I mean, often paying for it with his life, but I think he recognizes, you know, he's kind of put his body on the line sometimes to buy his team some time to catch up, particularly the TB, who, you know, is on par with 2 of the 3 OG cores, but not the 3rd, even close to the 3rd.
Not again.
Vessel, yeah, and that's going to burn his mana very quickly. There's not going to have to back him up, but the problem is Miracle, I don't think he has any way to get his mana back, but there is a shrine. Maybe that's the way. Is Jarek's come swooping on in as well here. Miracle doesn't need to go for a Sunder GTA. Still got a decent amount of health here. So they're going to switch targets, go for the Omni Knight instead. The Guardian Angel. Going to keep Monkeys alive a little bit longer, but No Tail's going to go for the body blocks. Anna looking for that bash. Not going to find it right away, and Monkey's still kind of juking them. He jukes another blink, but this time around the Flame Break will push him back into Anna. No Tail will say that's fine.
It's just such a hard game for Cole. You just can't find kills. That's the problem. As long as there's a save. No Tail's a bad one. Who, with Unsung Hero, there was a moment at the comment just had the perfect items. No boots, dust, smoke, ward, sentry, magic wand. And he's just been playing behind his cores the entire game. Cole's all about the stun train, and he's there every time to interrupt and ensure that his core is going to be able to escape unscathed.
Maybe something they, you know, took away from the last series, because it was the same thing in that last BO3. All these stuns. Thompson, he's going to get caught out. I mean, deep in the enemy jungle alone. Not expecting Lexi to be so aggressive with Omni Knight down, but it pays off, and see themselves down a man, but it does look like they are more than interested in fighting. They're going to go in with the Anti-Mage Abyssal Blade, take that Z-Freak, and they're also going to get a Lasso catch just on the TP, and the Omni Knight is not really there to save the day, but it's the Winter Wyvern with the Winter's Curse instead on the AM, going to buy some time for Miracle, but time is all he's got, as he will still end up going down. And Monkeys came in to save him, and I think he's just going to pay for this with his life. The Rolling Thunder's there, and it looks like Complexity are just getting picked apart one by one. It's 343 who's managed to at least avoid getting caught up by Jarex.
Yep, and I believe that's their opportunity to walk into base, get at least a tier 3 here.
Hey, they're getting bounty runes on COL. They got all
there you go.
Oh, I got 3. I thought they were going to get all 4, but you know, you're getting high grounded, so not really. It's something to celebrate.
Lincoln's on the way for Ana. He's going to get even harder to kill, or really just stop, let alone kill, but just stop him from killing us.
I don't think he's someone you're even trying to kill. You're just trying to ignore him and kill the others. So finish off 3-4-3 with the shield crash. And tier 3 tower should be going down. We'll see if OG want to commit to the high ground here with 4 of the 5 Complexity heroes back alive. They may just want to back off for shrines. Got a couple members mid. They're not quite grouped up, but they are also in a position where they can reset things a bit.
And you can see Seb continuing to catch the mid wave. OG doing a great job of this. You want to pressure as many lanes as possible. They're going to have all 3 on the Cole side of the map as soon as top looks to catch up. And I expect them to just go kill the shrine, kill top wave, the tower, see them draw the circle. That's the area of the map that both sides are going to look to contest here. You got to keep Dire out of your Radiant top triple camp. And as Cole, I'm just not certain how you do that. You look at the net worth of Ana. He's still twice the net worth of anyone else in this game. And Seb, what a rise from a roaming no lane 3 position to suddenly top 2 net worth. And he's really had a fantastic game, all things considered. He's been a part of so many kills, constantly hunting the Cole heroes, trying to split push, tons of space for his friendly anti-mage. Well done in general.
I mean, this is to me, like, when I consider Seb in his playstyle, this is him at his best when he's on these heroes that can control the tempo. I think he, for me, more than like Thompson, is the tempo controller.
Well, he is the primary shot caller, and it's a lot easier to do that when you're one of two things as an offlaner. The primary initiator or the hero with the big cooldown team fight spells. As he also loves to play the mag, the tide, etc.
The initiation there. And it's just not a hero you can go in at this stage of the game. They're going to try their darndest to do so. Instead, it's going to get turned around. They want this Omni Knight. He's being kept alive a little bit by the Cold Embrace, but he's still going to go down. And Miracle needs to be careful. He gets deleted with the Rolling Thunder popping on top of him, and he can buy back, but he won't have Mana Ball for this one. And it's just going blinking on the high ground, knowing that he's got all this backup from No-Tail's Abaddon. He's getting the stun shielded off of him, and a couple of buybacks later, it does look like OG are going to be forced back Jerax. He's got that swashbuckle to help him escape, and then Jerax, who was on the enemy high ground, doesn't go down.
Another just well-played fight by OG. They're just getting further and further ahead, progressively building their advantage to an insurmountable lead. At some point, you'll kill somebody without buyback, and you'll have all your spells off cooldown. You'll be ready to rock and roll. Love this pickup even from Seb. He recognizes something I wish more teams did, which is you should always, always, always have a Vlad's. So he picks it up. There's nothing else he really needs.
Yeah, it's like, who else is going to buy on your team? Theoretically, Pingo might be able to, but I think he's prioritizing more those utility initiation items. Actually, going to Lotus Orb.
Yeah, more cleanse.
Prioritize, so... God, talk about something that just deals with complexity slams so well. These, single target disables that can be reflected and cleansed off is just a big problem.
And it's just OG really reading the games. You know, they were obviously watching Cole play the last series. They recognized, look, they're probably going to Lesh Sand King. And I feel like they almost baited them into it in a sense, where they recognized that the stun trains, the constant combinations, Cole able to play with pace around the map was a big part of why they were able to beat Fnatic. And OG, like, you can't fight into this lineup. You've never been able to. Ana's going to find a kill on Wyvern, Lasso on Monkeys, he has no buyback, he's dead again.
That's more or less the game at this point. They cannot defend in a 5v3 against an anti-mage who is essentially 2 or 3 heroes in himself. They're going to go on TB. He's dead without buyback and complexity. Will be chased back to their fountain and probably chased into typing those 2 magical letters. There they are. GG is cold and complexity get dismantled in game 1.
Yeah, I think you must ban Pangolier. When you look at OG and you consider they can play it on, I believe, 3 different players. No-Tail probably could if he had the opportunity to do so, which is doubtful because it's just a better 2-3-4. You can't give it away because you're going...